margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. One half second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. Winners win and losers lose. I can't explain it any better than that. I don't know how it happens, but winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
Oh, a new light dawns upon the season. Yes.
7 rounds.
Come on now. We're talking post-draft.
Who today?
Well, we'll get into it all. But we're about ready to start a new NFL football season.
Where lives are changed.
Lives will be changed. Lives will be changed. Good morning, everybody. Game Time Brian, otherwise known as the Mailman, is in the house, everybody. The Mailman is riding solo this week. Yes, me and the dogs. Hey, get out of her food. Where's my little baby? Oh, she got down. My little chihuahua misses her mother so much. The mother is in San Francisco. Yes, she is in San Fran. She is actually Moraga, out in the hills, living the uppity life for a week. She went and visited Alcatraz Island yesterday. She went to Fisherman's Wharf there, right there. So her aunt lives in a nice part of town, and I hope she has a good week. But her dog, I ain't going to tell her, but it's probably my dog too, but it's her soulmate. The dog, not me, the dog. Probably going to take a few months off this dog's life, but we're doing pretty good. But anyway, circling back, Vinny Hagan. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Game Time Brian here. We sit here 94 days. 94 days until the Game 1 opener at Lincoln Financial Field against the Super Bowl champions. They are hot. They are the gold standard. And it's in the immortal words of John Cena. The time is now, my man. The time is now. There's no more excuses. We're going to make a shirt up. I think my man Mark Therese, we ready? No more excuses. That should be the t-shirt name. So stay tuned for that. We will get it. We will get the logo out for my Cowboy fans. We ready? Exclamation. I don't know. Put it in the comments. What should we have? What's this year's slogan? Because I will have the shirts made up ASAP. You know that. We'll start giving away shirts. Those shirts. We ready? No more excuses? I don't know. Put it in the comments. But we sit here 94 days away from kickoff at Lincoln Financial Field. And the Eagles are a 7. The line has gone down a half a point. A 7-point favorite. Okay? Albeit before anything. All we've seen is voluntary OTAs through this time period. Dallas, we're going to run down a few of the moves that they've done. We'll keep it 100 as we always do here. We'll talk about some of the areas in which are a concern. And what I would say about the NFL. Hold up. I got to get my dog. She just wants to hold up. Don't you mess up my Daisy girl. Anyway, I'm back, people. I'm back. Where the hell was I? Yeah, so we have some holes, but look, how I look at the NFL and you look at over past history, there's optimism. There's optimism around the league this time of year with every team. Every team thinks they have a chance. And I made a comment a couple weeks ago. I think it's common knowledge. It's really only 8, 10, 12 teams. I don't know. I don't even think it's 12. Put in the comments how many you think really really have a legitimate chance to go far in the playoffs. Talent-wise, I will disagree with anybody. I don't care if you're an Eagle fan, Cowboy fan, Commando fan, Giant fan, Niner fan. I don't care. The talent is there for the Dallas Cowboys. That's not the issue. Honestly, that's never really been the issue. Depth is always nice, and some years are better than others, right? Proven depth. Proven depth, because there's been many times where we think we got a stud ready to roll. Behind somebody who gets hurt, they step up, and they're not really. I'm talking second-round pick Sam Williams. I'm talking, the human seatbelt, Kalen Carson, okay? When they drafted him, it's all we heard about how great he was. You get the point. Everybody thinks they have depth, but when you talk about proven depth, and we're going to just touch on that briefly today on this video. But the Cowboys sit as a +7 road dog going into the link in 94 days. But let's get into some of the, just some of the homework that we need to think about dates-wise. Micah Parsons needs a contract, okay? The next date, we're getting close, people. We're getting close to training camp. We are at June 2nd today. Mid-June, mandatory OTAs / minicamp. Mid-June. So, I'm telling you now, everybody, I don't believe Dallas is going to change their ways. I talked to Rob A about it. Not sure why. I don't have the answer. I'm only giving you my opinion on why they don't do these big major contracts. They'll do the lesser contracts, right? Deadlines make deals, or the way Jerry says, deadlines make deals get done, BS. But in his mind, per Game Time, Brian, let me know if you think I'm a moron or you think, oh, wait, that probably makes sense. I know that the player probably has some insurance. Like, I'm sure Micah, God forbid. I don't like saying this. That's what I was telling Rob via text. I don't like saying, God forbid something happens to him. Plane goes down, something. I'm sure the family has some sort of life insurance, I would imagine. He has a value number on him. Micah has a value on him. But the Cowboys, it's all on you. It's all eyes on me, you know what I'm saying? So Dallas Cowboys probably want to wait. I don't know what the contract's going to come in at. It's probably going to be a 4-year deal, 5-year, probably 4-year with a bunch of void years. And that video hasn't been made yet because we've talked about it, but maybe we'll do it later. I'm going to try and stay busy today. But Micah will not have a contract mid-June, in my opinion. And if he does, then that tells me there's a change in philosophy. I would like to get him in, but because he needs to know the nuances. But again, the new NFL, everybody, the new NFL doesn't allow you to do a lot of on-field real work. It's all mental reps. And I think really when you're talking about a new defense for Micah, you need to get down and dirty. You know what I'm saying? You need to get your hands in the dirt or whatever, the grass. You need to play with the pads on, live game speed. That's what needs to happen. So I don't think he'll be there. I think they'll get it done in training camp as they always do. I hope he's there, but thank God we got the depth that we do. But before we get into the depth of the team, who we lost, we just want to update everybody in this down period before the mandatory minicamp in the middle of June and then late July. I didn't look at the dates, just looking at the dates real quick. Late July probably means, I don't know if it's going to, probably July 24th, 25th, something like that. Maybe July 23rd. That's where the players will be reporting. So we sit here in June, less than 2 months. Time flies. You hope that the players are making smart decisions. We hear Mike is traveling. Again, we hope he's getting ready. This is a big year, not just the Dallas Cowboys. It's a big year for Micah Parsons. Dallas has already said the franchise tag is still on the table. I don't know. I don't see that. If I'm Micah, I'm not playing. So again, it'll get done. It'll be a lot, and it is what it is, people. I don't begrudging I don't begrudge any individual making money. I'd more or less would just him rather zip it a little bit when prior to when he's saying I don't have to be the highest paid, when indeed that's exactly what your agent wants you to be, the highest paid non-quarterback and guarantees. So just less is more, Micah, sometimes. That's all. Moving on. September 4th, we talked about first game. Okay, we are going to transition to some of the roster moves that have been done. Let me see here. There we go. And we are, fix the camera. It's been a while. There we go. Get the Semper Fi in there for my family members who are no longer here. Semper Fi, baby. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Players gone. Dallas has lost several players. They have seen several players leave, arrive through free agency and trades. Players who have left. We're just going to talk about some of the more impactful guys. DeMarcus Lawrence, okay. Mr. Hot Boy himself. I don't like hitting a guy when he's down. He had a long tenure here. DeMarcus is a great two-way player. I thought he got a lot of money with Seattle. I thought he would have been a good fit with the Eagles because they like their edge rushers to run, to stop the run. He was actually very good at that. That's why you see Eagles get rid of Bryce Huff. He wasn't doing much of anything. But that's for another video. DeMarcus Lawrence is gone, long-time Cowboy. He didn't get as much. When you look into the contract, he didn't get as much as you would think. He just did not. But, again, you know how they like to puff up the contract. Good luck in Seattle, brother. No hard feelings. Rico Dowdle took $4 million to go to Carolina to be the second or third string. Again, we were telling everybody. I'm glad that I believe Will McClay, but at least his voice is louder this year. I told you I was willing to let Rico walk. I was hoping he would get more. It's not going to return us anything via a compensation. And just remember, Rico did not play the first 6 games of the year last year. I don't think he came in until week 7. They were trying to stuff Emmett Smith. They were trying to stuff Ezekiel Elliott down our throat. And he had over 1,000 yards with 10 games played. So he, again, for those who think our offensive line last year, which was beat up, banged up, not nowhere near where we are this year, still had over 1,000 yards. So it wasn't quite as bad. The record went south quick with the injuries, but I know non-Cowboy fans don't want to recognize that. Jordan Lewis, I would say that's probably the biggest impact that we're going to lose. He'll be 31 this year. He got a lot of money. Jordan Lewis, good luck, brother. Good luck, Jordan Lewis. Again, another guy I was okay to see leave. I don't want to overpay for older guys. This goes back to back in the day, Howie, before they were winning Super Bowls, Howie, where he had a rule where he would never, ever, I don't know that he's wavered too much away from that. If a guy was approaching year 30 or age 30, they wouldn't offer a contract. They looked at the analytics. Now, Eagle fans would have to tell me how that's gone. I haven't analyzed it over the years, but it's obviously working whenever they're doing. I do think there's a place for over 30 players. I do. Right now, Dallas is young. Dallas is real young. Dallas is, I don't know if they're the youngest, but they're one of the youngest. Their oldest player is Dak Prescott. He's 30. Well, now you're setting yourself up for success if those young players can be good. Chauncey Golston. I loved, Chauncey Golston. Role player. I think in the right role, he could be dynamic, but we never really got the opportunity here. Look out for that one. DeMarcus, like I said, he signed a 3-year, $42 million, but the guarantee was not that with the Seattle Seahawks. Rico signed basically a 1-year deal with the Carolina Panthers. Now, he'll probably be number 2 because Jonathan Brooks has since been lost for the year with yet another ACL. God bless him. Jordan Lewis, 3-year, $30 million, basically most of it guaranteed. Yeah, to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Good luck in Duval. That's all I'll say. Not much going on in Duval. So, and Chauncey Golston, I think, might be the best out of the bunch when it comes to impact. The fact that the Giants went out and got a Chauncey Golston, defensive end, signed with the Giants. Dude, big-bodied guy. Plays inside, plays outside, offers you your position flex. That's good. I mean, again, that's who we lost. Now you got to say, well, obviously Zach Martin retired. I get it. Zach Martin was a shell of himself the last couple of years. Last year, especially, still average, but not nowhere near what I like what the Cowboys have done. And we'll get to what they've done with the players that they've brought in, and we'll get to the draft and just some of the highlights of what I think are good and what we've heard through non-padded OTA practices. Okay, now gone are those guys. Incoming, just briefly, Dante Fowler Jr. Why the Redskins, the Commanders would allow him to leave on a defense that averaged 50 points against the Eagles, giving up. You need pressure players in this league. I will disagree with a couple of my Eagles subscribers. Love them like brothers, but especially you, Drew. Eagles Drew reminds me of my brother. We would fight bad, and then we kiss and make up, and we go hang out. But it's like pressure burst pipes. For the most part, you need your defensive tackles and your linebackers to stop the run. If you can get an edge rusher like a Myles Garrett or even a D. Law, who may not be dynamic but is solid in stopping the run, we have extra guys now that Micah can kind of freelance. He needs to get better. As good as Micah Parsons is, he needs to get better in a few areas if he ever wants to win in the playoffs. There's a bullseye on Micah Parsons in the playoffs. Absolutely. We can't hide from that, and I hope my Cowboy fans don't hide from that. But anyway, Dante Fowler comes back with a chip on the shoulder, was not offered the deal he thought he was going to get offered. The Commandos didn't offer him anything. I don't know, lead commander, why they didn't offer Dante anything. Dorrance Armstrong, okay, he's a good player, but stats-wise, he didn't have a great season. Solid, rotational, not as electric as Dante Fowler Jr. Just coming to his own as he approaches, I think he's 29. Javonte Williams, running back, stud out of Denver, who had suffered an ACL injury, I believe, as a rookie. Hasn't quite been the same. Says he feels like he has prior to the injury, finally. So, for my money, maybe the starter, maybe, possibly. They signed Miles Sanders. Eagle fans, I know. I'm not going to sit there and shove Miles Sanders down anybody's throat and say, this is what he's going to do. But what I will tell you is, when they were looking at him, and they did a look-see last year with Miles, and he ended up going, we chose not to sign him. They put his locker right in the meat of that locker, meaning normally guys stay where he's at. It would have to be an injury or him. He is showing a lot of juice. The people go, oh, he's shot fighter. He's not what he was. He's showing a lot of juice. That's all I'm saying. Don't sleep on Miles Sanders. I don't know who's going to start. Okay? I don't know. It's going to be a committee, and we have a deep bench. Somebody's going to have to step up, right? We went out and got Kenneth Murray Jr., team captain for the Tennessee Titans. I think he had 96 tackles last year, was injured a little bit. He is really, really impressing. This goes out to the Cowboy fans because everybody's going to poo-poo everything. I love this player coming out of Oklahoma. I believe he was drafted by the Chargers, but he went to Tennessee. He is finally home. He he has been doing so well that he reminds me. I mean, they gave him the green dot. He kind of reminds me of a young Rolando McClain type. Now we know Rolando. What cost him was the smoking of the weed, and in a time where you weren't really allowed to smoke weed and some off the field issues. Kenneth Murray Jr. is a model citizen. He's a big dude wearing the number 59. He's a powerful player. If he can get him going in the right direction, and history shows that first year under Matt Eberflus, his defenses are top 15. So we're not even going to top one. It would be nice to have a defense like the Eagles where they're number one overall with the power up the middle. But we have a lot of talent. I'm telling you, we have a lot of talent on that defensive side of the ball. We brought in a lot of big boys. Solomon Thomas, just look at some of the photos and video of him. He's a chiseled man. He's not a boy. He's a man amongst boys. And he's going to rotate with Osa at the 3-tech. He's a beast. He's done well everywhere. He's fine. He's reunited with White Cotton, his defensive coordinator for the Jets. Okay. Jack Sanborn we brought in, linebacker. We brought in Jack Sanborn. It was like a linebacker 3 for Chicago. But when the game was on the line, Jack Sanborn was in the game. He was the one that was keeping everybody together. He reminds me of a Jack Del Rio type. And he's already linebacker number 2 with the Cowboys early on. Okay. We are so deep in linebacker now that that'll be an interesting battle going into training camp. Who could stay healthy big time? Who's going to, I mean, either way, Jack Sanborn plays special teams, and Jack Sanborn knows Eberflus's system. Who would have known? Who would have thought that Kenneth Murray would come in and be picking everything up as easy as he does? You would have thought they would have given Sanborn the green dot. No, they see that the talent. Just telling you, this defense is going to have a big year, and Kenneth Murray's on record saying teams aren't going to be able to run the ball in the Cowboys. Now, that's a big statement, knowing that we got Mozzie Smith there at the 1-tech, right? But we're not done. We're not done. Kyer Elam, high second-round pick. I don't know if he was the first round. Put in the comments. I don't know if he was the bottom of the first. I think he was the first-round pick for the Buffalo Bills, playing him out of position, but we'll see. Looks good. Looks good. He's coming in, has a lot to prove. You want players and a lot to prove. Dallas goes out and gets Robert Jones, offensive guard, started all 17 games with the Miami Dolphins last year. He's not projected to be a starter. What is that called? That's called big-time depth. Big-time depth. He didn't miss a game last year. He comes in on a relatively cheaper deal before the draft, before we get Tyler Booker, and looks good. Peyton Turner, a guy who's been often injured with the New Orleans Saints, big boy, 6'7.5", 290-some pounds. He can give you edge depth. Again, he will be a perfect complement to a guy who, in run situations, he won't give you necessarily the pass rush. He could play the edge, and he could also slide in and play on the defensive line. That's an underrated move. Obviously, we traded for George Pickens and traded for Joe Milton. These are just some of the moves. There's a lot more moves, everybody. There is. But, we can't really go away from the fact that this team is going to be successful by our left tackle, right? We do have options to substitute here and there, but kind of like a Brock Hoffman, you don't mind having Asim Richards fill in for a couple games, but do you want him for 17 games? Now, all indications are that Tyler Guyton is looking great. Everybody goes, well, he doesn't look thick. He'll never be thick. He's another big guy, just a natural athlete. Looks good. Looks like the attitude is totally different. Totally different with Tyler Guyton. He knows what he has to work on. It was more mental than anything else. The first couple games of the year, he held his own against a Myles Garrett. We won the game on the road. Myles Garrett did nothing, next to nothing against Tyler Guyton. And then once you got film, and he had 7 games in college. Okay, they are very, very excited, which is why they haven't done much on the left side as far as possibilities. Now, again, they like their depth there. We forget about a guy like Nathan Thomas that most of the outside public don't know anything about. And obviously, Asim Richards, I think we're going to see a changing of the guard of some of those draft picks. We've already got rid of some in the offseason. But Matt Waletzko, probably not long unless he just stays healthy. He had issues with both shoulders. I think his time is done. But the depth on this team, but our starting offensive line, Tyler Garden, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker, who just comes in the huddle and commands it, which is pretty damn impressive when you got a Dak Prescott there, you got a CeeDee Lamb there, and he's just, controlling the huddle. You like to see that of young guys. And Terrence Steele. And, again, Terrence Steele's PFF grade was pretty good last year. He's coming off the injury. So we expect him to get back to where he was prior to the injury. The addition to Clayton Adams, Connor Riley, I think that running game is going to surprise people. Okay. I didn't even touch on the electric Jaden Blue that we got, Hunter Lepke, Deuce Vaughn. We'll see. I know I like Deuce Vaughn. I'd rather keep Deuce Vaughn and maybe let maybe somebody else go. But that all has to play out. And these boys have to stay healthy. So health is wealth in this league. But I can't wait. It's been a while since I did a standalone video. I'll probably do another one today. I'm definitely going to do a lunchtime chat probably later this afternoon. So look for that. Probably going to go to the gym in a little bit, get my fat ass in gear. But yeah, man, can't wait. If anybody does not know, we're going to the Las Vegas Raiders game November 14th. I think we fly out. The game is on the 17th or the 16th. I don't know. Put in the comments. Monday Night Football in Vegas. We have a bunch of people going already. We're staying at the Mandalay Bay. I know a lot of people are staying next door because it's a lot cheaper. At the Excalibur, there's a tram that goes. There's a connector between both casinos. Definitely come out and hang out with the Time Brothers. And who are that? That's Game Time Ryan, which is me, and my partner, Primetime Phil. We will be out there hanging with the people at the Mandalay and heading over for the game. We haven't gotten our tickets yet. When we do, we will let you know what section it is so you can jump on and grab the seats if you want to hang with us. But all right, everybody, that's it for me. And I just got one more thing to say.
How about them Cowboys?
Late.